Ottawa. We're here gathered today to talk about is extremely important. We know that homelessness is a very serious issue. It robs people of their dignity and identity in many respects when they cannot have a roof over their head. But you couple that with homelessness for our veterans, people who have sacrificed, people who have worked hard to keep all of us safe, all of us protected. I think all of us will say that that's even a graver issue. And anything as public servants, as individuals, as community members, as government, we can do to ensure that our veterans are respected, are treated well, are given the opportunity so that they could continue to thrive and be successful is extremely important. Not to mention ensuring that they have all the supports necessary, whether it is PTSD or other mental health related issues as a result of their contributions and sacrifices for our country, not to mention other challenges that they may be facing. This is what we're here to talk about, and I'm honored to be here with two of my colleagues, and it's my great pleasure to now first welcome the Honorable Minister Lawrence MacAulay, who's the Federal Minister of Veteran Affairs and Associate Minister of National Defense, to say a few words. Minister.
Thank you very much, Yasser. Walter Semenoff, Ottawa Inner City Ministries. It's certainly great to be here. And I want to thank everybody for coming. As Yasser said, this is a big issue, and there's no doubt those who served in uniform have experienced a great deal of hardship. Whether on the battlefields of Europe or the mountains of Afghanistan, or during the pandemic in a long-term care homes right here in Canada, where they stepped up and served us well. While there are hardships across the board when Canadians leave the military, the transition to civilian life can be very difficult. Physical and mental illness can all too often leave a lasting toll on veterans, creating real limitations to their post-service employment opportunities and causing significant financial hardship. Homelessness is one of the most devastating consequences of this. This is especially true for the 2SLQBTQI plus veterans and Black and Indigenous veterans who have even more obstacles before them when transitioning to civilian life. It is our responsibility as a country and my responsibility as Minister of Veterans Affairs to make sure veterans have the support they need when and where they need it. In 2018, we introduced a Veterans Emergency Fund to provide urgent, needed financial support to veterans and their families. That same year, we introduced the Veterans and Family Wellbeing Fund, which has provided funding to organizations such as the Old Brewery Mission, Vets Canada, the Canadian Alliance to End Homelessness, Good Shepherd Ministries, Ottawa Intercity Ministries, and others doing vital work to combat veterans' homelessness. And a year ago, we brought in a new $140 million mental health benefit that provides immediate coverage for mental health treatment. Veterans Affairs Canada also supports veterans with programs and benefits like health care, rehabilitation, career training, and access to case managers. As we all know, homelessness is a complex issue, but it can be addressed and prevented by working together with groups and grassroots organizations doing important work for veterans right across the country. Veterans Affairs works in some 200 communities and organizations in more than 50 cities right across the country. It also supports and funds initiatives by organizations that get the grassroots causes of homelessness, as well as veteran-specific physical, mental, social, and spiritual health needs. And of course, we're working with all levels of government, including our federal colleagues who are the lead on housing and homelessness, to make sure veterans have a safe, secure, and affordable housing. I know it's because of your interest in that you have come here today, and I sincerely thank you for that. It is my pleasure now to introduce my good friend and colleague, Minister Ahmed Hussen, to take the podium. Thank you.
Good morning, bonjour à tous. Thank you so much, Minister MacAulay, for your remarks, for your introduction, and for all the work that Veterans Affairs Canada is doing on behalf of Canadian veterans, and all the work that is being done by the Government of Canada to support Canadian veterans. It is a pleasure to be here alongside my colleague Yasser Naqvi, Ottawa Centre Member of Parliament. Yasser has been a tireless champion for affordable housing options for Ottawans and Ontarians and indeed Canadians, and also representatives from organizations who work tirelessly to support the well-being of Canadian veterans and their families. Thank you for being here. Chaque Canadien mérite un logement sous et abordable. Pourtant, ce n'est pas la réalité pour un trop grand nombre d'entre eux, notamment des autochtones, des personnes handicapées et des anciens combattants. Our veterans have bravely served and sacrificed for our country and our freedoms, and it is unacceptable that any of them should be unable to find stable and affordable housing in Canada. That is why we're here today to announce the Veteran Homelessness Program, a new program specifically designed to address the unique needs of veterans who are at risk of or who are already experiencing homelessness. Through this initiative, the Government of Canada is investing $79.1 million to help veterans and their families secure and maintain a home. The Veteran Homelessness Program will be delivered through two streams. The first stream is the services and support stream, which will provide funding for rent supplements and wraparound supports, such as counseling services and treatment for substance abuse. The second stream is the capacity building stream, which will enable support and research and help build the capacity of organizations to better meet the needs of veterans and service their needs. Starting tomorrow, April the 28th, organizations can submit proposals for funding through the Infrastructure Canada website for projects aimed at preventing and reducing veteran homelessness. Homelessness among veterans is a complex issue, as Minister MacAulay mentioned, and it requires a comprehensive and collaborative approach from all of us, as Yasser Naqvi mentioned. The Veteran Homelessness Program complements our other housing initiatives under the National Housing Strategy, programs that are already delivering for veterans as well, such as the Rapid Housing Initiative, and other existing programs in Veterans Affairs Canada, mentioned by Minister MacAulay earlier. Le gouvernement du Canada est déterminé à mettre fin à l'itinérance chronique partout au pays, et ce programme est un élément essentiel de cet effort. These investments are part of our commitment to make life more affordable for Canadians, including our most vulnerable members of our communities. Alongside existing and new initiatives announced in Budget 2023, like the $10 a day childcare program and the new Canadian Dental Care Plan, the Veteran Homelessness Program is a crucial part of our efforts to help those most in need. And housing is, as you know, more than just a roof over your head. It's an opportunity to have stability in your life. It leads to better social and health outcomes. And it is better as a foundation for building a better life, but also stronger communities and a brighter future for all. Nous continuerons à travailler dur avec nos partenaires de la communauté et du logement pour investir dans des solutions qui font la différence pour les personnes dans le besoin. So thank you for joining us today and for your continued dedication to our veterans and their families. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much, Minister Hussen and Minister MacAulay, for your remarks and for your work in creating a dedicated, standalone fund to deal with homelessness for veterans. And I think it's really important to note this because this dedicated funds will be geared towards ensuring that we have the supports and the housing necessary for our veterans and gives organizations like many who are represented here today to work together and develop programming and housing opportunities for our veterans. I would now like to invite on stage someone who has very personal connection to the veteran community and who has served so courageously for our country. The retired Lieutenant General William Seminoff served our country for 32 years in international and domestic operations and training with the Canadian Armed Forces. Since his retirement, he has worked extensively in the not-for-profit sector, focused on the well-being of veterans, military personnel, and their families. Please join me in welcoming retired Lieutenant General William Seminoff on stage.
Minister MacAulay, Minister Hussen, Member of Parliament, NACV, veterans organizations that are here today that support veterans, guests, ladies and gentlemen, bonjour à tous et toutes. Pour moi, c'est un honneur d'être ici avec vous aujourd'hui. Veteran homelessness, to those veterans who are experiencing it, and to the organizations that are here that support our veterans in need, know that veterans homelessness is real. Each and every day, the organizations that are here today work to support veterans who reach out to us looking for a stable and place safe to stay. We also know the importance of stable housing, as already mentioned, and beginning to turn the lives around for homeless veterans, especially those who are chronically homeless. The announcement today, we know, will go far to begin to support chronically homeless and all homeless veterans in their time of need. It will also help to ensure that when they reach out to us for help, we'll be there and able to say, yes, we can help you. For that, we thank both ministers, the Government of Canada, Member of Parliament. Thank you very much for what we believe is a great initiative being announced here today on behalf of all veterans. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Seminoff. Thank you for everything you do. I know you're also involved with the Ottawa Inner City Ministry, so I sincerely appreciate your continued contributions to our community. I believe we're going to do questions and answers first, or we're doing photo shoot first. We'll do the question and answers with the media first. We have a handheld microphone here. If there's questions from the floor, I believe there's media maybe via online as well. So I will open the floor. I don't know if any staff is helping us with Q&A, or we'll just open the floor then. We have some questions virtually, so I see Elaine McGregor, your hand is up, so go ahead, please.
Could you tell me how long this program will extend for and how much each organization would be eligible for?
Well, the program would become available tomorrow through Infrastructure Canada, and you can apply for the funding over $72 million, which involves rent subsidies and wraparound programs for veterans that want to remove themselves from homelessness and get into a home with rental subsidies, and then hopefully continue on with a program through Minister Hussen's programs to have a permanent home of their own. That's the objective that we have, to make sure that we get the veteran off of the street into a home, and then they can advance on. I've seen this take place with tiny homes in Calgary. In fact, I witnessed a veteran that was in the tiny home, had been there, just moving that day into a permanent home and a permanent job. That's the kind of results we want.
And in addition to that, in addition to the rent supports and the wraparound supports, there's money for capacity building and research to support the organizations that are working in this space.
Thank you. Any further questions? Yes.
Can you confirm the $79 million, is that over 4 years, or is that, what's the time span for that $79 million?
It's over 5 years. Yeah.
Any other questions? Yes, go ahead.
Yes, are First Nations eligible to access the funding for activities on this?
I believe Indigenous veterans are not only eligible, but are actually prioritized as part of this process. We understand the particular obstacles they face, as Minister MacAulay mentioned, Indigenous, Black, and other veterans who are facing severe challenges, particularly experiencing chronic homelessness over an extended period of time.
I appreciate that question because the fact is that's where the major portion of the homeless, as far as we know, and I think we're sure of that fact alone, that Native veterans fully qualify. We want them to know about this and we want to help them.
Any other questions? Yes.
Do we know what the current statistics are, how many veterans are homeless or at-risk homeless?
No, we don't. And the fact is, when you deal with veterans and Veterans Affairs and people here who are working very hard to try to help veterans and they're homeless, there can be many difficulties with homeless veterans. In fact, they probably experience it here. You have veterans in a shelter, Veterans Affairs Canada comes in and the veteran goes out the back door. The fact is we want to help and find these people and give them an opportunity for a new life. That is our responsibility and that's what we're trying to do.
Great. Well, thank you very much for everyone for coming here today. This is a very important announcement. As you heard, the fund opens tomorrow, so your opportunity to apply starts very, very soon. So I hope you will all consider the parameters of the program and be able to apply. I believe we are all going to get together and take a couple of photos as well. Once again, thank you very much and have a really good day. Bonjour.
Pretty cool photos, very nice.